One of the interesting sub-stories from this election has been the Satmar Chassidic voting bloc in Brooklyn. Over the past couple of days, there has been a division and there's been a little bit of a riff in the Satmar voting bloc. There was a rabbi that came out and endorsed Mamdani, and then that caused a couple other rabbis to endorse Cuomo. From uneducated sides online, people have viewed endorsing Mamdani as having something to do with Israel because they're like, Mamdani's anti-Zionist, the Satmars are anti-Zionist. How much does Israel actually play into this election?
So there are two things here. One, the anti-Zionist ideology is a religious ideology, right? We don't believe that Jews should assemble and create a state before the Messiah comes, especially if that's on the expense of occupying another nation or doing it through power. So that's the religious ideology, which does not say that if Israel exists, we want to see its destruction. There's only a fringe within the community, which is literally a fringe of a few dozen families where they actually, tout that pro-Palestinian cause.
We're talking about Naturi cartel, yes. I assume, correct?
So the Satmar stance on Zionism is we do not support a Zionist state, but since Israel is a country where most Jews live there and they are threatened by their neighbors, we do not seek either the destruction of Israel or the killing of Jews. And so they actually have a policy that whenever there are terrorist attacks or there's active war, they do not protest against Israel because they do not want to be seen as sort of, taking that sort of mantle of pro-Palestinian activism or being against the Jews. That's where they do not agree with Mamdani, which is they do not call the Gaza war a genocide or an intent by Jews to kill another population. They are also very much worried about anti-Semitism because the effect of the Gaza war and the pro-Palestinian protests was that visible Jews are being targeted in anti-Semitic incidents. And the first person to be targeted, if you want to target a Jew, is a Satmar guy walking with a shtreimel on the street. You see it in videos in recent years where, people walking on Shabbos on the street and a person goes and flips the shtreimel off and says something hateful towards them. So these are the people who are, the targets if you are looking to target a Jew.
A lot of the times it happens against the Orthodox community because they're the most Jewy looking Jews out there. And I can say that because I'm Jewish. But this is the most Jewy looking group of people.